Thanks a lot for jumping in and watching, guys. We're going to be running this throughout the day today. I want to introduce you to Rob Brooks and Phil Gauthier. Both of these guys are with Road Dirt TV. They've got an awesome online magazine, we would call it. Yep. Yeah, an online magazine. They do awesome articles. They do all kind of tech reviews and stuff like that. So check them out on. They've got a YouTube channel, Road Dirt TV. Yes, sir. The website is roaddirt.tv.
Yes, sir.
Roaddirt.tv is the website, and then you're on Spotify. You're on
got a Spotify channel called Road Dirt Classics, and then we got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all of which Road Dirt TV.
Yeah, awesome. So they're big supporters of the industry, guys. You'll see them out at Road America and everything. So they're not just talking Harley stuff. It is the, as you say it, the ride life, baby. The ride life.
What's up, gang? This is Phil with the Road Dirt crew, hanging out here at Kevin Baxter's garage, also known as Pro Twin Performance. They've been kind enough to give us some time today on a lift so we can do an exhaust comparison on a 2014 Street Glide. So today the plan is for us to actually show you how to install and to record the sounds of a stock Harley Davidson exhaust, the Rinehart 4-inch slip-on exhaust, and then we're going to actually swap out the baffle in the stock Rinehart 4-inch and put in the new DBX 4.0 baffle in that exhaust. We're going to listen to that one, and then we're going to finish out the day listening to the new DBX 4.5 or 4.5-inch exhaust on this same Street Glide. So sit tight, we're going to get to the action here momentarily, and let's see what we got. So thanks for joining us. All right, here we are with our first comparison, and this is the stock slip-ons that came with this 2014 Street Glide about 40,000 miles ago. And so we're going to fire this up, let you hear what the stock sound was, the patented Harley Davidson stock sound. Alright, so we've installed the Rinehart 4-inch standard slip-ons that we've had for about a year and a half. We've actually put those on. We did get the custom billet tips on these as well, which are just, in my opinion, just absolutely gorgeous. So right now we're going to go ahead and fire this up and let you hear what this sounds like compared to the stock mufflers. Here we go. And there we have it. So now let's put the new baffles in these and see what the DBX 40 baffles sound like in these Rinehart 4-inch slip-ons.
That is snug as they're supposed to be.
So this is how easy the baffles come out of the 4-inch slip-ons. Basically twist and they come right off with the end cap.
Yep.
And there's the standard baffle on the standard Rinehart slip-on, which I gotta say sound pretty good.
Yes, they do.
Looks like we have done some curb scrapage on this one as well. So here we're taking off the retaining ring. That's screwed to the end cap. pre-loosened.
They come off real easy, by the way.
They do. Slide that ring off. Let's take the original baffle out. Put the new baffle in. This is so easy.
That is very user-friendly. The Rinehart people were thinking like shade tree mechanics, which is good.
You know, Rob, I've been to Rinehart and I've had the good fortune to get a tour of the facility, and their manufacturing is just absolutely spectacular. They use state-of-the-art CNC equipment, and they've got ISO QA involved, and they're all manufactured in the U.S. You know, they're the only companies here in the U.S. to do some of the chrome work and the powder coating work for some of their black pipes that they offer as well. But their manufacturing facility just outside of Asheville, North Carolina, I believe it's in Arden, North Carolina, is just a study in U.S. manufacturing and how to do it right for the U.S. biker. It's just amazing.
Nice.
And we're ready to go back in now. All right, so now we're about to fire up the Rinehart 4-inch slip-ons with the new DBX 4.0 baffles that we've installed in here. So we've just done kind of a quick tutorial. But I got to tell you, I have not done much slip-on work. This is really my first street bike. And the actual operation of removing the baffles and replacing them, putting them back in, Rob, probably took us maybe 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. You can see we actually did it. Our hands are dirty. But yeah, it was amazing how quick and easy it was to slide those things out and just change out the baffles and pop them back in. So we're going to fire it up now, see what these DBX baffles sound like. All right. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the DBX 4.0. Huge difference between the stock baffle and this new baffle. The sound is amazing, just fabulous. I loved it. Now for the next and final phase, we're going to take these 4-inch units off. We're going to put on the 4.5-inch that already have the DBX 4.5 baffles in them, and then we're going to see what that sounds like. All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, so we've installed the Rinehart 4.5-inch slip-on mufflers with the DBX 4.5 baffle inserts, and so we're going to fire this up here and see if we can hear a difference between the 4.5s and the 4s on the Street Glide. So here we go. Man, those sound amazing too. It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. The 4.5s may stay on this bike after all. We'll have to see. All right, so that's kind of our comparison. And at this point, I wanted to bring Kevin Baxter in from Baxter's Garage and Pro Twin Performance, because Kevin, truthfully, a lot of guys think that they can just roll up to a tent at Daytona or order some online slip-ons and just bolt them on and they're good to go. But I know that there's maybe some engine mapping that needs to be done or some tuning depending on what bike and what engine and things like that. Could you maybe shed a little bit of light for everybody as to what really they need to look for after they've gone to a new slip-on or a new size?
Sure. Now, I'm going to go around the world to get across the street with this, but you know, we've got to keep in mind these bikes are enormous investments. You know, they cost a lot of money, and we want to make sure if you're making an improvement or you're making a change, I mean, you're buying a quality part. My history with Rinehart goes back, I mean, years and years, back when Bub was making pipes for them, and I did a lot of testing for them when they first came out with the 2-into-1. Was kind of involved with the development of the 2-into-1 and the true duals. But what I've seen over the years, when Judd took the company over, I've seen the quality go through the roof. I mean, I've seen Judd reject chrome on pipes that the average person would never see a flaw in. Yeah. And I mean, he's not an absentee owner. Right. I mean, that guy is on the floor. He's R&D'ing everything. So I only want to install a quality product that produces power and stuff like that. So as far as the quality, hands down. When it comes to the mapping, people have to keep in mind that these motorcycles, when they come from the factory, there's one generic tuning file that's in that ECM that has to be compatible for everywhere that motorcycle could possibly ship. Right. So we can't just generically tell people, just throw a pipe on it and you're going to be 100% okay. Now, I will say in most cases, because the factory tuning is pretty much safe for low octane fuels and things like that, most people want to run 93 octane, but when you get in high altitudes, you can only get 87 octane, right? So to a large degree, I would say if your bike is properly maintained and you're, because of your environmental conditions, it's healthy as it is. If you maintain the catalytic converter in the factory head pipe with no other modifications, and you put a slip-on on it, the bike will run okay. But what we have to remember is, from the factory, these bikes come EPA compliant. Mm-hmm. So just putting on a set of slip-ons will make it sound better, but it won't necessarily cool it back down.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's one of the goals, right? People want to cool them down. So I would say that if you put on slip-ons, you keep the factory head pipe, you're running the stock air cleaner, then in most cases you would be okay without needing any tuning. Okay, but when it comes to the point of removing the catalytic converter or putting on a high flow air cleaner, you have to do something. You should, because we have to remember, again, that bike is tuned for EPA compliance at the very beginning. But believe it or not, one of the very common mistakes that I see is people putting on a slip-on, leaving the stock head pipe on it with the catalytic converter and tuning on top of that. But a lot of folks don't understand how a catalytic converter works. The idea is, when they see fuel, they heat up to burn off the excess fuel. So when you're tuning a bike, that's what you're doing. You're giving it a little more fuel. So what happens on that catalytic converter, you give it more fuel, the converter just gets hotter. So it's either just put the slip-on and do nothing else, or definitely tune it if you change the breather or the head pipe. So that's my tip.
Got it. Good info to have. So it's important that you really kind of look at the entire system, from the header all the way through the catalytic converter to the slip-on, and don't just think you're done once you put the slip-ons on. But speaking of EPA compliance, though, I did know in my tour of the facility last year that they actually have a California compliant slip-on now. So they've got a new California compliant slip-on, and of course they're making full exhaust systems and slip-ons for most of the American-made V-twins and touring bikes, Softails, Harley Davidson, and Indian. So they do a great job. We really appreciate John and Judd and the support they've given us in shooting this comparison to hear the sound. I know when I first bought my bike and I was thinking about upgrading it, I was looking everywhere to see where I could compare some sound to different exhausts. So hopefully you guys have picked up something from this today and have enjoyed this. And we again want to appreciate, I want to thank Kevin and his team for giving us some time on the lift today. Absolutely. And we will be checking in with you guys. So this is Phil and Rob and the crew from Road Dirt, and don't forget to ride life, baby. Thanks a lot, Kevin. Appreciate it. Man.
You got it, man. Take care. I want to say again a big thanks to you channel members out there for supporting the channel. So coming up for you guys next week, as part of the M8 versus Twin Cam video series, I'm going to let you guys see behind the scenes on doing a set of cylinder heads for a Twin Cam. And don't forget to keep an eye out for the feature video on the Chevelle. I don't put a lot of sentimental value in material things, but that one car means a great deal to me, and you'll find out why. So be sure to check out Road Dirt TV. It's roaddirt.tv on the web, Road Dirt TV on Spotify. You're on Instagram. You're on Twitter. You're on YouTube. These guys are every single place. They do a lot of great articles, a lot of neat stuff like this. So be sure to check them out. And you guys have an awesome weekend. Y'all got anything to add?
No, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching,
Appreciate
guys.
you. Yes, sir.
And what is it, Rob? Ride live.
Ride live.